Hey everybody, do you recognize this guy? Well, if you don't, this is Joe Chenot from Foltex. Everybody should recognize him by now. He's in a lot of our videos, and he came here, a year and a half ago, and set up our Foltex and did a great job. It's amazing because they never let me know when they're coming around. Well, he did call me last week. Northcutt came down here, and he usually comes and does the checkup, but I think he got a promotion now. Anyway, they'll just come and just check your equipment out and make sure it's running properly. Joe, what brings you to Lexington, Kentucky today to come see me?
Well, aside from missing you, Joe Dan, I did want to come in and check on the Foltex folder for these guys. Really, it's not just Joe Dan, as great as him and Splash Mountain, Kelly are. A big part of what we do is when you buy Foltex, you're buying into the service that we provide. And the service we provide is, okay, we're going to stop in at no charge to our customers, and if we can, and today was a great example because production wasn't running when I got here, we were able to do a full preventative maintenance on the machine. So we go top to bottom, front to back, we pop every cover, we open up every nook and cranny that we can, and look for any issues. If we can fix them and address them on site, we'll do that. If there's a part that maybe the customer may need, we don't have it on hand, we'll order it, we'll get you a quote for it, we'll do anything we can to make sure that you guys are up and running the way you are. Now, to shout you out, Joe Dan, everything on this machine was perfect, top to bottom. I couldn't find any issues with it, so I did go around, I carried some touch-up paint with me, and I found a couple little spots that needed touched up. That could have happened a year and a half ago in transit, it could have happened, someone bumped a cart into it, but that's really what Foltex is all about. If we have a customer who takes great care of their machine, we'll find something we can do to add value. And really, that's the whole purpose of the visit today, Joe Dan. Everything top to bottom looked great. Your cross-fold section, your primary belts, your in-feed, linear rail, everything was great. So again, that's when we're going to kind of shift gears and look at what else can we do to build value for you.
What sets Foltex apart from the other brands? Well, I think you just answered that. It's the level of service, and you guys pride yourself on service.
We really do, whether it's myself, the other technicians, Chris, Odell, Jake, a different Chris, we all have the same passion, and that is making sure that our customers are taken care of and our customers are happy. That's really what sets us apart.
I have been to many facilities, and I've noticed that some people did not purchase your machine brand new, and they may have gotten it secondhand from somewhere else. I've experienced that. I've purchased equipment, I've purchased cars, but never before have I seen service like this. Do you guys follow that machine and help the next individual who may have purchased that machine get comfortable with this particular machine, or hey, they're just on their own?
Joe Dan, that's a great question, and the answer is yes, we will absolutely follow the machine. You don't have to buy it new from us in order for us to give you that same Foltex experience. I have a great example of that. We had a machine, not this one, but a little bit different model, went from Michigan down to Ohio. Now that customer bought the machine, shipped it, they elected to do a self-startup. So a little bit different experience than what you had when we came down and you bought directly from us. That's all included with the initial cost of the machine. For these folks though, they said, hey, we can put some wires together, we can figure this out. But we still stopped by. We wanted to make sure that the programs were right for them, that nothing was damaged in transit. For us, whether you buy new or used, you still bought a Foltex. You still get the same level of service, you still get the same level of care, and you still get the same benefits.
Now, I know that warranties run out. What is the warranty?
The warranty on this machine, specifically for this, so this is the AT230. We're looking at, 2,040 hours, that's a working year, correct? And then we're looking at 1.3 million pieces, whichever one comes first. So during that time, we're gonna cover a lot of the main components. If you break a belt, something along those lines, and you opted to buy our spare parts kit, so you have a full set of belts in there. But things like your rollers, your bearings, your motors, your inverters, if something like that goes bad, that would be covered with normal use.
Let's pretend my warranties run out, and a lot of people's warranties are probably run out. I know Randy Roberts in Ohio, he's run out. Mm-hmm. Is this when you guys just disappear?
Absolutely not. Part of that training is going to be looking at our spare parts page. Something that we pride ourselves on at Foltex is that all of our parts are off the shelf. So there are no proprietary parts. There's no different bushings in a motor, no shafts. What we do on our website also, though, is we link some of the vendors that we buy from. There are times where the vendors are cheaper than what we have. There are times where we're cheaper. But we give you all the tools to make sure that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg just to keep your Foltex running. This is a valuable piece of equipment to your facility and your organization. You shouldn't have to worry about where you're going to source parts from.
I know that if I buy a Continental washer, I have to buy Continental parts. If I buy a Dextra washer, Dextra parts. Hipsch, Speed Queen, list goes on, and none of those parts are interchangeable. But what you guys have done is not made it impossible for us to locate a part that's cheaper somewhere else that we can put in this machine, and we can go locate that part if we need it immediately, unlike these washers and dryers. And that right there within itself is a game changer.
It really is. And if you did need something overnighted and it was harder to source for you locally, we do carry all the parts for our main equipment in-house. We are not a parts company. That's not the business that we're in. We're in the folding equipment business, small piece folders. But it is something that we will make sure that we have the ability to get you a part overnight. We don't want production to drop because you need an inverter.
Joe, you've been doing this for a while. What's been the biggest obstacle thus far? You've gotten to the facility and it's ready to be set up. If they were to get this machine, what do they need for you to set it up?
Whenever you order,
air, of course.
Air's a big one. You want to have electric run to the area that the machine is in. So what that means is in this panel, if you want to, you can make the final connections. We're more than happy to do it for you. We can't run any of the electrical for you from wherever your breaker may be. So that is dependent on the customer. Same with the air. You want to make sure that you have the right fittings to hook up to our primary regulator. Other than that, challenges as far as they go, they're more of opportunities than anything else. Okay. We've walked into some places where maybe the machine's sitting on the floor.
Like mine. I didn't have legs on mine.
Go ahead
and tell them.
But when we came in, it was when we did the pre-startup call. Since then, I've made an adjustment to how I make those calls. But, hey, this machine does not ship on its feet. It comes on a big pallet on blocks. We screw everything down so it doesn't shift when we're shipping it overseas. But one of the big things when that happened was there's not a panic. We know that we're going to get this up and running. We know that this machine, we know how to program it. We have extensive training. We're always learning. We're always growing as individuals. So something along those lines, it's just an opportunity. It's a way that we can connect with you or anyone who, say something goes wrong. We have seen a lot of different situations. We're very confident in everything that we do. So that was just a way for you and I at that time to go, hey, not a big deal. Let's get it up in the air. We'll get the forklift that we need, put the feet on it, and we're good to go. So it's just for us, it's not really obstacles or challenges, it's more opportunities and just ways for us to build relationships. And that's what Foltex is really all about.
Well, what I liked about the situation that I was in, I had the electric run, I had the air run, but there were some components that we did not have. And you were like, no big deal. Where's the parts store? I'll go get them. Or we can go together, whatever. You made sure that this machine was up and running before you even started any type of procedures or processes to get our programs run to where this thing runs efficiently. And that is another thing that sets you apart, because a lot of people don't realize that, hey, if there's something missing, well, it's Friday, I'm going to get on out of here. I'm not going to worry about it, and I'll call you next week, or when you get the part, I'll come back down. No, you made sure that this thing was running day one, and then we set our programs up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you want to be successful, I can speak for the other technical account managers. We are all very much the same mindset that in order to get to step 2, step 1 has to be successful. And we're going to build on that success throughout the entire startup.
Joe, you've noticed some trends in the industry where laundromat owners are starting to buy folding machines. And this trend has started when?
We noticed this trend probably about 3 or 4 years ago now, I'd say. I think, if I remember correctly, Randy was kind of the first one for us to look at getting a small piece folder for his business. The trend at the time, what we were seeing was a lot of the wash dry folds, the coin laundries, were moving towards that residential business. And this machine can handle a lot of different things. We're able to get king flatten fitted through it, to beach towels, to a regular towel mix. What we're seeing now as a trend is yourself, Kent, Randy, Rick Rome. I don't want to leave him out.
Oh, please do.
I can leave Rick out then.
I'm kidding.
We're starting to see you guys move more into the commercial side of things, where you're getting maybe the hotels, the Airbnbs, maybe non-acute facilities or local colleges.
Spas, gyms.
And we're actually seeing you guys move more into that commercial market that I came from, which for me it was acute or hospitals. But it's really great to be a partner with you guys, to be able to see you guys grow and to be able to grow with you. The different features that we have in these machines, it was really kind of, for you guys, if I'm not wrong, kind of a one-stop shop. You got everything that you needed. We're able to grow and scale with you. And I think that's really what we're seeing. We're seeing the scale take off with you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Now, what would be the point to where you would go into a facility? Because I know that Foltex does this. I know you guys gave me sort of an interview. Where are you going with this, and where do you want to be within your company? So you're not just going to go sell a Foltex to somebody with a small laundromat that doesn't have the room to do a wash, dry, fold business.
That's correct. As much as we love seeing our machines out in the field, we don't want to put this machine in a laundry or with an organization that won't benefit from having it. We are not in the business of sales for the sake of sales. We are in the business of making sure that we offer you the correct solution, the right product that will help you grow your business.
I can testify to that because I had an individual call us and they wanted a Foltex like we had, and I asked them what their footprint was, and they didn't even have enough room in the back of their laundromat to support something like this. And you guys aren't going to sell something to someone that can't use the machine and that can't become successful because of the machine.
No, that's correct. It's our business is built all on word of mouth. If you look for Foltex advertisements, you're not going to find them. It's just not how we do business. Our business it's grown very organically, and we want to make sure, like what you said, we are getting the right customer with the right machine. If we don't have that, it doesn't mean that they're not going to be there at some point. They just might not be there right now.
What do you have pledge in your hands for?
Glad you asked, Jodan. This is for your stacker flaps. Earlier today, so the stacker flaps, we have a conveyor belt under the machine, and it helps pull product down to your stackers below your machine. That's where your product ends up finished and ready to discharge. On one of your towels, I noticed that the towel was dropping at an incorrect spot. So we can kind of back up a little bit here. You have stacker 1, 2, and 3, 1 closest to me, 3 furthest away, and it was dropping in between the two. And our belts work off of just a timer. So at a certain point when it crosses a photo eye, it starts the timer and a countdown, and drops the product. Your product was dropping on stacker 1 when it should have been dropping on stacker 2. Great place to start with that. On your HMI, you're going to unlock the machine, open up your stacker flaps, and you're actually able to see there's some chemical transfer that's just through your normal wash process that gets stuck on those stacker flaps. So with a little bit of pledge and a cleaning cloth, I went through, polished those up for you, issue resolved itself.
How long would it take a person to really notice these things happening? Because it was happening very little, right?
It does. It's a buildup. So over time, gradually, you'll see it, and it's going to affect products differently. So a thinner product like maybe your hospital gowns, those won't have the issues. But a thicker product like your towels or your beach towels may have those issues. That's actually part of why we come around. We don't expect you guys to see these things all the time. No one's running 5 million pieces through these a year. So that's why we stop by. We can identify these issues before they become a larger problem, and we can help correct them and then pass that knowledge on to you. So if you do see it happening, it's just a quick 2-minute job.
You see, I come in, the guy's got a can of pledge and a towel working on my machine, and I have no idea what he's doing. That's the level of service that Foltex provides, and I really do appreciate that. You won't see your distributor come in here and just go straight to your washer. You won't see your distributor come in here and do these things. I mean, this is what really sets Foltex apart in the industry, in my personal opinion, and I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I agree too. We make great equipment, but it's our service that is going to separate us from all of our competitors. It's the genuine care that we show on every visit, whether it's our first time here or our 15th time here. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the same level. of care and expertise in every visit.
I really haven't had any problems with our Foltex machine. I'm realizing why. It's because you guys just come in and make sure our equipment is in optimal performance. And that's what we need in this industry, really, because if this machine's down, then we're back to hand folding, and that's the last thing we need.
You're right, and we touched on it earlier. This is an invaluable piece to your organization. Whether it's you or whether it's any other laundry, downtime and downtime in production specifically is just the worst thing that could happen to you. So any way we can do anything to minimize that, we're going to go above and beyond every visit to try to do that.
Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
So I'm not too far away from you. I'm actually located in Ohio, but we do travel, all 50 states.
What part of Ohio are you from?
A little town called Hartville. It's just 30 minutes north of Canton.
What's your favorite drink?
Club soda. Yeah, I'm not a drinker outside of work, so club soda is kind of my go-to. Got to keep the pounds down.
Okay. What's your favorite soft drink? Club soda?
Club soda.
Club soda, okay.
If I'm feeling fancy with lemon.
What's your favorite meal out?
A good steak is definitely one that, it's hard to beat a good steak.
If you were to have a vacation today and go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
My wife would have to be included. She's my best friend, so either Estes Park out in Colorado. It's absolutely gorgeous up there, amazing hiking, great food, or I have to say Port Angeles, Washington. My wife would disagree. She wants Hawaii, but if it was up to me, those would be the two.
What's your favorite band of all time?
The Doors are up there.
Ah, smart man.
So they have to be. Doors are up there. Zeppelin's up there. I also like some newer bands too. Orbit Culture, some lesser known metal bands. But that's definitely nothing like classic rock. Skynyrd, it's fantastic.
What's the most daring thing you've ever done?
Skydiving.
Skydiving. Now, you did show me a video of you going how fast in a motorcycle? Does your wife need to know this?
I think I was going 65 in a 60, so that was just 5 over.
Okay. Okay, so you do like bikes?
I do like bikes, love cars, working on them with my boys. I have 3 sons that, any chance we get, because we do travel a lot, and any chance we can be home and work on a project, or maybe our mini bikes or motorcycles, trucks, we love doing that. And it's a great way to spend time with them.
Any hobbies you have outside work?
I do golf, not well, but I do enjoy it.
You like watches, I see.
I do like watches.
What's the latest watch you bought?
The latest one I got an Omega recently.
An Omega?
That nice. I absolutely love. It's a Omega Speedmaster. It's a watch I've always wanted. I buy and sell a lot of watches in my spare time too. Just trying to give my sons as many passions as we can have and kind of fund some of our adventures, whether it's camping with the Scouts or kayaking, whitewater rafting up in Colorado. We try to do what I can to make sure that we have as many fun family adventures as possible when I'm home.
I'm trying to get you part ways with the watch you have on your wrist right now. I like that one.
I don't know about that one. Maybe someday, but right now I'm going to hang on to this one for a little while.
I don't blame you. What did you do before Foltex?
So before Foltex, I actually had my own company. I had a logistics company. So we did hotshot trucking. Had that for a little while, sold it. But before that, my major career to get me into laundry was I was an account manager in sales for a healthcare laundry in the Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York region.
That explains it. So how did you come to know who Foltex is, and why would you choose this company to work for?
Honestly, by happenstance. I knew I wanted to sell my company. I didn't want to stay at home. My wife definitely didn't want me doing projects around the house all the time. So, I was on Indeed, and Indeed said, hey, you should check Foltex out. I applied to see where I'd be, and it is truly unlike any other company I've ever worked for. We've talked about the discipline, passion for excellence that we have, and us wanting to make sure that your machine's running the way that it should, whether it's at the startup or whether it's 5-10 years down the road. That care extends to the employees of Foltex as well, from our owner Arno down to our sales department, our VP Martin Ferris, and Chris Northcutt, who he was promoted to our Vice President of Customer Experience. The leadership team truly embodies everything that Foltex stands for. I could not imagine working for another company. There's a lot of great companies out there, but Foltex is my home.
I do notice that the company's extension from the owner down really reflects well, because after meeting Arno, stand-up guy, Chris Northcutt, you, Martin, everyone who I've met at Foltex, just so nice and is always willing to go above and beyond. If you're getting into this and you're dealing with just Foltex alone, beware, because you're not going to get the same kind of customer experience anywhere else like this. And I can attest to that personally, because I've been doing laundry for 20 years, and finding a partner like Foltex really was a godsend, because you guys have just really gone above and beyond, and I do appreciate it. And I don't know about you, Joe. If you ever want to leave Foltex, you come cut your salary in half and come work for me at Splash and Mouse.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the kind words. You're right. You hit the nail on the head. We're allowed to be who we are at Foltex, and it's, dealing with Arno and Martin and Chris, vastly different personalities, but all the same underlying traits of genuine care and wanting to help and finding the right solutions. Who knows, maybe someday I'll come down to Lexington and I'll work with you, Joe Dan, but as of right now, I think I'll stay.
What's the most difficult job you've done with Foltex? From install point of view, or setting it up?
We've been pretty lucky. The hardest one wasn't necessarily programming the machine or setting it up or anything like that. It was just the sheer size of it and the size of the laundry. It was one of our LP feeders. It's around 10,000 pounds. It is a massive machine.
This thing's not light.
And it is very narrow old laundry. And we spent 2 days just moving it into place. That is not typical for a startup. This customer just needed the help. And it took 3 of us to actually move this machine from Foltex.
Wow.
It was quite the undertaking to make sure, and because this was hooking up to an iron, we actually arrived on a Thursday and then worked through the weekend. They were closed on the weekend. Again, that's not a typical startup schedule for us. This customer needed something a little bit out of the norm, and we made that happen for him. It was an adventure. It was more work than I've ever done on a job before, from a physical standpoint of just moving a machine around. But again, the reward at the end of it was when Monday opened up and they were ready to go, so was Foltex.
Outstanding. Now, the easiest job you've ever had, is it here?
No. Absolutely. Honestly, Joe, even having the machine on the floor, they're little obstacles that we can go over, and they're opportunities, to put a new customer's mind at ease. We have the ability to go, hey, we've seen this issue before, we've seen this situation. Here's the solution. Let's go do steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you know, it was a great startup. Most of them are like that. There's always little challenges here and there, but you can turn a challenge into an opportunity and really gain a Foltex fan for life.
Foltex is going to be at the Clean Show this year. It's been 3 years since. Are you guys doing anything different this year in the Clean Show?
We actually are. So I have some new responsibilities, not necessarily a new title with Foltex. I am handling the sales for the light commercial, the wash, dry, fold, coin laundries, whatever segment that particular smaller laundry falls into. At the booth this year, you're going to see 2 of our machines. You're going to see a normal AT230. You're also going to see a machine similar to what you have, which is our AT230, our light commercial wash, dry, fold machine. That machine, again, it has all the bells and whistles. It's in place at your facility because you can grow into it, but it also does everything you need now. And it's a very cost-effective option as well. So when we're at the Clean Show this year, please stop by our booth, take a look at it. Joe Dan, I'm sure you're going to be down there. I know Kent said he wants to stop by, so.
Kent Wales.
Kent Wales, over at, Happy Laundry up in Spokane?
Yes. Great
guy, great facility. But we'd love to see anyone who wants to come down and take a look at the machine. We'll have everything set up, running and operating. We'll be feeding products. If you have something you want to see run and you want to stop by, bring us a sample. We're more than happy to try to write a quick program for you and see if we can make that work for your facility.
Who all is going to be at the Clean Show? Is Arno going to be there, the president, you, Chris Northcutt, Martin, and just your whole team?
Most of us will be there. Again, you've been to the Clean Show. For anyone who hasn't been, it's a very fun event. There is a lot of people, not much room. So I don't know if the whole company will be there, but you hit the nail on the head. We're going to have Martin and Arno. We'll have Chris, myself, one of the other Chris's that we have. I'm sure a couple of them will be there. Jake, who's another technical account manager, will be there. It's a great opportunity to come and meet the team. You can ask any of us any questions. Very approachable. That's what we're there for.
One thing I could suggest to anyone who goes to the clean show, look at the list and see where you want to go first before you go in to the show, because it can become very, very overwhelming. So write those particular things down. So I want to go visit the Foltex booth. I want to go visit the curbside booth. I want to go visit the hips booth, whatever. Write those down before you go in, because if you don't, you'll become very overwhelmed. It's crazy.
You will, and if I can say, please put Foltex at the top of that list. We'd love to see you come by.
Hopefully I'll be there and meet you guys.
Joe, Dan, I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you, Joe. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
As always.
I'm sure after the clean show, hopefully you guys will get tons of orders for these, so you'll be
That's what
going
we're
all
hoping
over.
for.
So,
So really, if you don't mind, I'll back up a little bit.
okay, perfect.
One of your, I believe your production supervisor, Erica, was in and had brought an issue to our attention. That issue was that some of your larger beach towels weren't making it through the crossfold and then into the stacker flaps correctly. So there was a couple issues there. One of them was just the wrong program was selected. It's a mistake that everyone makes. I've made it several times myself, especially when I'm programming or doing a new machine. The other one is, and something you guys already do, you clean the skis with Pledge.
Correct.
And when you do that, just through the natural process of your guys' wash process, there's going to be a little bit of chemical transfer. It could be softeners, it could be detergent. There's a number of things it could be. And you spray some lemon Pledge on it, you run it through by holding our jog button, right? Takes that towel, drops it out of the back of the machine. We also need to apply that same logic to our stacker flaps, which are underneath the machine. The stacker flaps are, just like what they sound, two flaps that hold the product like this with a conveyor over top. And that's what pulls the laundry onto your stackers.
Okay.
When I was under there today, I can use my tool icon and open the machine, and on the last page of this, I have my stacker flaps. I'm gonna press that button and go under there and clean it, but before I do it, it's very important, hit the E-stop. Our machine, after 5 to 7 minutes of inactivity, is going to go into like a sleep mode, at which point those stacker flaps are gonna close.
Okay.
Now, it's not gonna hurt you, it's not gonna kill you. Well, it will hurt. If it closes on your hand or your head, it doesn't feel great. I've done it before.
It's not gonna like
Is
sever my limb.
No, it's not going to sever a limb. It's not going to take your head off. But what's nice is by doing this, the machine won't sleep now.
Okay.
So now we can go under there and we can really clean those
Okay.
stacker flaps. And that's what we did. After we're done, I like to test several products, run them through, and that issue was resolved.
Awesome. I'm OCD.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, these nice, pretty white belts
Yep,
are gonna have marks on them.
they are.
Suggestions for that?
The biggest one, and again, what we showed in another segment of this video, was how you use the jog button up here, right? So if you do get a product stuck in the primary, use that jog button. A lot of people want to step up here and reach in and pull that item out. We don't want to do that.
Right.
We have tools up front to eliminate, first off, your production having to leave their station and go pull a jam. And the second one being, we want to keep your belts as pristine as possible.
Exactly.
The other one, if you guys are cleaning, doing any kind of blowdowns, put an old blanket over top of it. You know, if you have old tablecloths, just cover those up. These are cotton belts. They do attract dirt. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast on these. If you do find yourself having to work in this general area and you do step on your takeaway, put down a drop cloth.
Okay.
If you do those things, again, you're going to keep them looking better longer.
A lot of people are watching this that might not want to get into the commercial end of laundry. So we originally got this with the anticipation of going commercial and residential. A lot of people may just want to do residential clothing. Can you tell me what items the Foltex can fold?
So far, we've had a lot of success with really anything anyone's going to run on that. There are a few exceptions, some very thick hoodies or winter jackets. Just, you know, the material that's in them, if it's a down jacket, it doesn't want to fold, it wants to open back up. There are some other, like, thicker bath mats, the ones that are, if anyone remembers the old shag carpet, they have the real thick spirals on them. Those don't always want to fold. It's actually easier to tell you the stuff that doesn't fold as opposed to the stuff that does. with a couple pre-folds, you can do your king flat and fitted. You can do queen all the way down to twin. If you're going to do a true mix, you guys have an option on your machine for a button sort. So, a mom, dad, and their 2 children, you can separate by size now just by hitting a button for tops and then switch over to pants. And it's just going to run such a wide variety. Even fitted sheets, which I personally can't fold without a Foltex, but we can fold them on this. It really is a very kind of the Swiss Army knife of the small piece folders.
So in my experience with residential laundry, for example, with the combination of commercial and residential that we do, we are able to minimize our staff so that we can be able to have less staff members and get a higher production rate with the Foltex. Before the Foltex, everything was being folded by hand. Everything that goes to the Foltex is uniform, like towels, gowns for hospitals, just a number of things. So we're so thankful to have found the Foltex. It saved us a lot of time. We haven't tried other things that it may have done, but some things, it is quicker to fold by hand.
Absolutely.
Fortunately, we have different stations that we can use. So when the Foltex is going, our other staff members can keep the flow going so we can get everything done like we need to do.
I think you made some good points. Kind of piggyback off what you said, Foltex is not in the business of replacing your key players within your organization.
Correct.
The nice thing with Foltex, and again, through our startup, which you were a part of, we're not going to leave until every T is crossed and every I is dotted.
Right.
And we make them an invaluable part of the organization. So your key players become even more integral into your operation. I think that's really what separates Foltex as well, is that it's not just training with the owners or the leadership, but it's all the way down to production. And we want to make sure everyone at every station has the information that they need for that particular role as well.
Right. And when we first got our Foltex, what has that been? It's been over...
It's coming up on 2 years, I believe.
Coming on 2 years. Most of our staff members were leery of it. They didn't want to work the Foltex, but now they want to work the Foltex because it's such an easy process. You're not wearing out your body folding all these towels or folding all these robes or aprons or whatever. So it's actually better for your team members as well on their bodies.
It really is. It's an ergonomic machine. It's intuitive once you kind of get past the, oh my gosh, there's belts moving in front of me.
Right.
Which is just a normal apprehension for anyone. But no, all of those are excellent points. It is a machine that anyone can use. With a little bit of training, anyone can use it.
And I will say that you and whenever we call and we have an issue or we need to put a new program into the machine, you guys have been so helpful. Like, I'm not on hold for hours. I get great customer service. It's awesome. So we're glad to have found not just a vendor, but someone that we can count on.
I appreciate that. Thank you.